to talk about some of the things that I observed while I was in your home last week. What we observed with Trey, we did a play observation, we did a language sample, and I also did a couple of different formal assessments. But I wanted to begin by wondering if, asking you if there was any concerns that you or your husband had regarding Trey, anything like that.
Yeah, there are a couple of things we wanted to talk to you about. A really big one is that he just doesn't seem to follow anything that we say. So it's like I'm not even talking to him almost. So if I'm like, oh, go put on your coat, and I'm in the next room, when I come in, he's still playing and, having a great time, and then I'm like, go put on your coat, and it's still nothing until I kind of get right up close to him, and I'm like, you need to put on your coat, and I kind of like show him. Then he's really starting to get, oh, I gotta go put on my coat, and he runs right over, and then he goes and gets it. So I don't think it's that he's, being defiant. It's like he's not even realizing that I'm talking. And another really big concern that we had was that he just used to be like such a happy boy, and go lucky, happy-go-lucky, and now he just seems so aggressive and so unhappy, and that, he just gets aggressive really quickly.
These are all great concerns. I'm really glad you brought them up because these are some of the things that I observed and I wanted to bring to your attention. So I'm really glad that you brought them to mine. So I really feel like these two concerns can go hand in hand.
Okay.
And let me explain that to you because that might be a little confusing on how his behaviors are really going hand in hand with him not really seeming to listen to you.
Yeah, they seem like separate things.
Right. So, what I noticed during the observation was when you told Trey, when we were playing with the blocks and the trains, and you said, Trey, pick up now, put the blocks away, and he didn't, you just said it and he didn't do a single thing. He just kept playing. It was literally like you didn't say a single thing to him. And I can feel your frustration when you said that during the observation, like, oh my gosh, this happens a lot. But as soon as you picked up the blocks and started putting stuff away, and you're like, put them away, and you showed him, he instantly caught on and started putting everything away.
Yeah.
And I noticed that he did that because anytime you gave him a visual of what you wanted him to do, so you picked up blocks and you put them away, and you got right in his face, and I'm sure he was looking at your lips, and he could see you say, put them away. And he was like, oh, this is what she wants me to do. Just like you said with the coat, you model putting the coat on for him, and he gets up and does it right away.
Yeah.
So I believe presenting Trey with more visuals in his environment is going to help him a lot.
Okay.
I know he was recently diagnosed with Landau-Kleffner syndrome, and one of the things that this syndrome is characteristics of is they lose that ability to be able to understand what you're saying without seeing it as well. But they're very strong in being able to see it, just like you said, put your coat on, or when you showed him to put the blocks away. So bringing more visuals into his environment is really going to help him be able to communicate with you and know what you're wanting from him, and back and forth. So now how to address the behaviors as well. I noticed that Trey gets very frustrated and very angry and almost aggressive when he's trying to communicate with to you or anybody in your family, and you're just not getting it. Because like you said, I noticed he's only saying one word now, maybe two, and it's really hard to understand what he's trying to say, when he's in the kitchen saying up, and he's pointing, and you're not sure what he was pointing to for that example. And so I believe that introducing an AAC device, have you ever heard of before?
No, I don't know what that is.
So basically, it's a device that will help him communicate. It's a very visual way to communicate. And how you go about this is we're going to bring in a specialist. At least this is what I'm wanting to do, and let me know how you feel about it. And he or she will assess him to a device that will best fit Trey. Because not every device is going to be perfect for him, and we really want to make it specialized to Trey. So she will come in, and he or she will assess and say, this is the device we should work on with him. This is going to support him the most. And I believe by giving him another means to communicate, like another way, will help decrease his behaviors, because that'll decrease his frustration, and it will also give him that visual that he's needing. And like I said, we can use other visuals as well within the home. Did you have any other concerns, or how does that sound to you? Are you worried about that?
Like I really want him to succeed, so I'm willing to try anything, but I have some questions.
Sure.
So, are we just forgetting about him talking? Because that's something that's really important to my husband and I. We really want him to go beyond that one word, because he used to be there.
Mm-hmm.
He used to have full sentences, and he would just rattle off a whole story about his day at school or preschool, and like now, it's one word, 2 words, and so I don't want that to go away.
Right.
So I'm worried that if we give him this device that's all pictures and visuals, that he's gonna just stop talking.
Right. Well, research actually shows that introducing an AAC device will actually help aid in verbal communication. So I'm not saying like give him this device and never work on him speaking again. No, like completely drop that off. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying like let's do both. Let's give him this means to communicate with this device, but also like let's work on building these words that he's saying. Because like you said, before he was saying, from what you told me, he was saying complete sentences. Yeah. He was just a little chatterbox.
Yeah, he would talk your ear off.
Yeah, and now he's just saying like mommy or Sadie or sister. He's not really saying much. And the only time he's really putting 2 words together is when it's common things like hi mom or good night Sadie. So I also want to work on growing that as well. And so when I took the language sample that I took in your home, I realized that he's only really saying like 1 or 2 words. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, that's like I said, it was just that drastic change of, he's talking my ear off, and then the next day it's mommy, up, juice, just very 1 word, sometimes 2. When he says good night, he says good night.
Mm-hmm. So I really think that working with the device and helping with those visuals, and also we can expand on what he's saying. So just like before when he was little, because I know you still have another little one at home. Mm-hmm. So when they say like puppy, you say like puppy's outside, because I heard the dog bark. Mm-hmm. Or so we can work on like still doing that. We're just gonna kind of take a step back with Trey and start back where we were to get him where he was. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so does that mean that he's gonna fall more behind since we're moving backward? Or
so studies have shown with Landau-Kleffner syndrome that once you present an AAC device or another visual means to communicate, whether it's the device, whether it's sign language, really whatever fits your family the best, the children that are presented with this actually excel. They jump right back to pretty much where they were. Okay. As far as like communication ability. They may not verbally be telling you as much, but they're still going to be communicating with you, just in a different way, in a different form.
Okay.
But we're definitely not going to give up on the verbal, because there's definitely still room for improvement in there, and there's still room for growth. And studies have shown that once these seizures get under control, and they completely stop, that these communication abilities come back. They bounce back a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, I think we should try it.
Okay.
And see how it goes.
Okay, perfect. Did you have any other concerns?
No, those are my big 3, like the big 3 things that I had, and I feel like we addressed them.
Perfect. So I will get that set up with the AAC specialist to work on that, to get him a visual support, and also that will address his behaviors, and we'll still work on expanding his utterances.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.